In today's session, we will learn about accounting method for amortized analysis. An amortized analysis is a method of analyzing a data structure with which cost is associated. In worst case, it averages out operations of over a data structure. So basically here the idea is that, for example, say you want to buy some pen which is worth rupees 5, and for buying that particular pen, let me give you rupees 10. So for buying a first pen, you are getting 10 rupees, but you are spending only 5 rupees to buy a pen. So remaining 5 rupees is with you, which you can use later on in order to perform or to buy something else. Again, to buy a second pen, again you get 10 rupees, but you spend only 5 rupees out of that. Likewise, over a period of time, you have saved some amount with you. So using that saved amount, which is a very large, we can buy some expensive item also by saving that extra money. So basically, amortized analysis is same. It says that if a data structure is having multiple methods or operation, out of which most of the operations are less expensive, that means they are taking very less time to execute, but there is some other operation which is very costly and it is executed once in a while. Running time of that data structure is T of n. That is being given by amortized analysis. So let us start by accounting method. Aggregate method is already covered in our last lecture. So accounting method have, this name is came from financial accounting. So basically your operations are treated as a financial transactions. That's why the name of the method is accounting method.
Now, some operations can be charged more or less than its actual cost. Now, the operation's amortized cost will exceed its actual cost. We assign the difference, which is called as credit, to a specific object in a data structure. And when credit can be used later to pay for those operations whose amortized cost is lesser than the actual cost of the operation. Credit can never be negative in any sequence of operation. Now let us see what is an actual cost. An amortized cost of an operation is a split between operation's actual cost and its credit. Looking back at modified stack example that we have already used in our previous video lecture, the cost of each operations were: push operation, actual cost was 1. Pop operation, and actual cost was 1. And for multi-pop operation, the actual cost is minimum between n and k. If the k's value is lesser, then only top k elements will be popped out. But if k value is very large, then the size of the stack, then only the size of the stack, all the elements will be popped out, that is nothing equal to n. So the actual cost of multi-pop operation is minimum out of n and k. Now assigning amortized cost to all these functions, we say that push operation is having amortized cost of 2 because each push can be also followed by one pop. Pop operation is having amortized cost of 0 because no extra cost is required in this case. And as well as multi-pop is also having amortized cost as 0 because it can be only carried out if and only if push has been made to the stack. So here the final step is to find out or to show that it is a possible way to pay any sequence of operations using an amortized cost. Here note that an amortized cost for multi-pop is constant while actual cost is variable. So here amortized cost of multipop we have set 0, which is also a constant, but actually it is variable. What is it? Is minimum of n comma k. Now let us see how amortized analysis works. So for push operation, we use 2 amortized cost, or we say $2. $1 is for an actual cost of an operation and $1 will be credited for its later use. For pop operation, $1 is already there, which is credited in its place. So we can use that credit which is used exactly for pop operations actual cost. And for multi-pop operation, say for example this is my stack. So whenever I push a plate on a stack, I use 2 coins. One coin is for used for pushing and remaining one coin will be put it inside a over the plate. When I put another plate, again I will use 2 coins. One coin is used for pushing and one coin is placed over the top of the plate. Similar way for n pops. So for whenever I perform pop operation, I don't have an amortized cost. I use credit which is already placed over the plate. So I will take out one coin and one plate is popped off. So actual cost of $1 will be paid from credit only. This way, all these operations of pop, or I would say popping the plates, will be performed. So multi-pop is basically using pop operation in its subroutine. So calling a multi-pop over the stack doesn't cost any money because it already calls pop, which is already using credit of push operation. So we need $1 to pop the plate off. The amortized cost of popping a plate is $0, but an actual cost is 1 because there is always $1 over the top of every plate in a stack. Credit will never go negative. So the maximum credit we can create and we can use is n. Potential method is also used to perform amortized analysis. It is similar to an accounting method in terms of cost and credit, which uses work done already as in potential energy. Remember, if we are pushing a stone over the top of the hill, rolling up a rock over the hill creates some potential energy. So while reaches to the top, when we fall it off out of the hill, we do not need to apply some energy because some potential will bring it back to the down to the hill. Now that potential is nothing but gravity, which is already there. So potential method of energy is associated with data structure, not with an operation. This is how your accounting method and potential method differs. In an accounting method, we give actual and accounting or amortized cost to each operation. But in potential method, potential energy is given to complete data structure, not to its operation. It starts with initial stage of data structure. We call that stage as D0. D0 is the initial stage of data structure. When n operations are performed over data structure, the data structure will change its stage or its potential from one stage to another. Like from D0 it will to D1, from D1 it will have a potential of D2. Likewise, after n operation, the data structures stage will be Dn. Now cost Ci is the cost associated with the particular ith operation where Di is the data structure resulted after the ith operation. Say for example currently data structure is at D2 and if I perform third operation, so after third operation my next data structure stage will be D3. So cost of transforming D2 to D3 is called as Ci, that is C3 in this example. First, we will see what are the notations used in potential method. Phi is the potential function. So the data structure is mapped to some number with the help of function phi of d, the potential associated with a particular data structure. So the number phi of d is a potential of a data structure. The amortized cost of performing ith operation is denoted by AI, which is equal to CI, the cost of transforming, plus potential at ith stage minus potential at I minus 1th stage. So the potential at previous stage is nothing but phi of d minus 1, and potential at the new stage is phi of d of I. And the difference between current stage and previous stage is the difference in potential, which is added with the cost of transforming, that is CI, will give us the amortized cost of data structure. So summation of all these amortized cost is the summation of all cost of transforming plus all the difference between the data potential of data structure. So if I say the difference between D0 and D1 plus difference between D1 and D2 plus the difference between D2 and D3 up to the difference between Dn can be also written as difference between D0 and Dn. So instead of doing summation of D of I to minus d of I of di minus 1, we can directly write it as the potential difference between d of n minus potential of d of 0. Here, the change in the potential, if the net value is negative, we say that data structure is undercharged. If this value is positive, we say that data structure is overcharged. Now, what is potential change on stack? Whenever we perform push operation, the potential change is phi of di minus phi of di minus 1. Phi is nothing but a potential. Potential at previous stage is phi of di minus 1. Potential at current stage is phi of di. So after performing the push operation, the size of stack will be increased by 1. So instead of phi d of I write size of stack plus 1 minus the previous stage, the size of stack was S, that is size of stack. The potential change will be n plus 1 minus n, that is equal to 1. Potential change on a stack will be of size plus 1. So amortized cost will be an actual cost plus potential change. An actual cost of push is 1, that is Ci, and potential change is also 1 that we have just calculated. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So push operation is having amortized cost as equal to 2. Likewise for pop operation. Pop operation, every time potential change is a current potential minus the previous potential. So before popping an element, the previous potential is nothing but the size of stack. At that time there were n elements. But after popping, number of elements would be n minus 1. So the size of stack minus 1 is the current stage minus size of the stack will be the previous stage. So the equation will be n minus 1 minus n. In this case, n will cancel out and the potential change is minus 1. At this stage, the stack is undercharged. Amortized cost is actual cost plus potential change. Actual cost of pop operation is 1 because we need to check in condition and perform pop operation. So that is an actual cost of 1 plus potential change is minus 1, that is just we have calculated 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So the pop operations amortized cost is 0. Now let us see what is multi-pop operation. Multi-pop operation also, the potential change is current potential minus the previous stage potential. Let us say multi-pop is performed either for k value which is very small or which is very large than actual size n. So here x is nothing but minimum out of n comma k. So the potential change, whatever the previous size of stack was, if I perform multi-pop k times, it would be minus k. If I perform multi-pop n times, it would be minus n. So instead of writing minus k or minus n, let me substitute minimum of n and k as x. So current stage after performing multi-pop operation will have lesser charge of x as compared to the previous stage. So this will be minus of x. Now amortized cost of multi-pop is actual cost plus potential change. So to remove x items, or I would say to remove k items, I need to check k times whether the stack is empty or not. If it is not empty, we would call it pop that many times. So the actual cost of performing multi-pop operation is x, which is minimum of k comma n. So instead of minimum n comma k, I write down x plus potential change in multi-pop. So we have just calculated potential change is minus x. So x minus x is equal to 0. The amortized cost of multi-pop operation over stack is having 0. Now amortized cost on stack that we have just calculated over the push operation it is 2, for pop operation it is 0 and for multi-pop operation it is 0. So amortized cost of n operation will be n into big O of 1 which is big O of n. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This is Munira Topia signing out.